Thanks, Clayton. A Michigan judge explodes at a convicted killer for showing complete disregard for her victim's family. As they spoke, the defendant, rolled her eyes and interrupted, saying, "Is that it?" Here's the judge's reaction. Watch.
You were relentless. You stabbed, you stabbed, you stabbed, you stabbed, you stabbed until he was dead. I agree with the family. I hope you die in prison as well.
The judge handed down a life sentence to that 31-year-old, but it was ultimately that reaction that raised eyebrows. His reaction. Did he let his personal views get in the way, and will that somehow affect her case, maybe in the appellate courts? Here for a fair and balanced debate is Jonna Spilbor and Arthur Aidala. Good to have you guys here.
Good morning. Good morning.
So one of the other things he said was, if this was a death penalty state, you'd be getting the chair, and he said in court it was one of the worst cold-blooded murders he's ever seen. So he obviously was very passionate. He was obviously infuriated by her nonchalant, very disrespectful attitude towards the people that were speaking on behalf of the victim.
And I don't blame him. You know, underneath that robe, he's a human being, okay? And he sat through an entire trial. He is the trier of fact. Judges are the trier of fact. Well, the jury was there. At the sentencing phase, there's nothing left to try. At the sentencing phase, his job is to determine what's an appropriate sentence. And if he had a personal feeling that she gutted some poor soul like a fish and should die, when you mete out your sentence, you're allowed to say it's not going to enhance her sentence any. What's the problem?
But lawyers get, if they do this type of thing, they get in trouble.
Oh,
they
yeah.
get sanctioned. You know somebody who was sanctioned. They're supposed to have decorum, these judges and these lawyers in the courtroom.
He crossed the line. He didn't jump over the line, but he crossed the line. He is supposed to articulate why he's giving that sentence. So when he said, you stabbed her, you stabbed her, you stabbed her, that's fine. You didn't show remorse. That's fine. But then when the next step is, I hope you die in jail, that's just not how we're supposed to behave. The way you, Juliet, like have the rules in here, your job.
There are no rules in here, Arthur.
No, there are
Please
some
don't
rules.
kid
There are
yourself.
the Roger Ailes rules. You know there are the Roger Ailes. We all know there are the Roger Ailes rules. You know, you just don't cross that line. And he crossed that line.
Okay.
He's not supposed to do that.
Okay, let me ask you, as a, prosecutor role, defendant, attorney role. If you're defending this woman, do you take this a step forward? Do you now try to bring it to the appellate court?
There's going to be an appeal anyway about the facts, right? And this is the judge who decided this evidence comes in, this evidence doesn't come in. So you could use that as a backdrop to show his prejudice against her when he made the evidentiary ruling.
You know what? But is it any better or worse when you're trying a case, and you've tried plenty, if a judge is looking at the defense attorney and saying, stop objecting, or getting an attitude with defense counsel, I think that's a worse reflection on the defendant and what's going on in the actual trial than at the sentencing phase saying, hey, I hope you rot in jail.
Well, hopefully most of us don't hang out in courtrooms with defendants, and we're not defendants.
We do.
Does this just say you guys do?
We do
But just say, is this very unusual? I mean, the fact that it was caught on camera, a lot of times this isn't.
I never had a judge. I mean, I had a judge,
really?
again, articulate how bad things were. I've had judges say, this is the worst I've ever seen, which they're supposed to do. They're supposed to say why they're giving someone this sentence, but not that next step, that personal thing, I hope you die. Like, no, judge, you're not supposed to go that far.
I've had a judge throw the book at me on a speeding ticket. Because I'm a lawyer, I'm not supposed to.
What book did he do? I bet you didn't say, I hope you die.
I don't know.
I hope you went 5 miles over the speed limit, Jonna. I hope you die.
We got to wrap it up. Jonna, Arthur, it was wonderful to see you.
Happy Easter.
Yes, happy Easter to you, and go Nets. All right, thanks guys for joining us.